Crocodile Kid.
Making their way to the ring from Australia, the 2001 Wrestler of the Year, the Diamondback Dingo, and his tag team partner, the Crocodile Kid. They will be locking up with the Old School Warriors. Dingo has been involved with an ongoing situation with the Old School Warriors. They do not approve of his style of wrestling, as Dingo is as hardcore as it gets. And now one of these asshole fans giving the Crocodile Kid a chocodile. They're throwing chocodiles at the Crocodile Kid. My God. Somebody bought out the chocodiles at 7-Eleven. Well, I'm enjoying a delicious crocodile here at ringside, courtesy of some of the paying fans who have seen fit to throw this creamy-filled treat to the ring.
Now, who remembers the time when mullets were cool? Me neither. Weighing in at a combined total of 550 pounds from the mean streets of St. Louis, here's the Old School Warriors.
Making their way to the ring. 35 combined glorious years in the sport. Killer Keith Smith, Chaz Wesson, the Old School Warriors, accompanied to the ring by the Woody Hayes of GCW, the Bob Knight of professional wrestling, Coach Chuck Farley. Erica, would you like some of my chocolate?
I gotta keep my girlish fingers somehow.
Okay. Heinz Logan, the referee for this tag team match, and he's calling for the bell. We are underway here at the Old School Warriors, or what professional wrestling is all about. Wrestlers, in the truest sense of the word. And now, the Crocodile Kid making fun of Chaz Wesson, and he pays for it with a clothesline. Back elbow by Wesson. Well, if I can't interest you in a bite of my chocodile, perhaps you'd like some of my Twinkie.
No, thank you. I'm good. Thanks.
Press slam by Wesson. You dirty! Joining us at ringside is Brian Stahl.
Yeah, Tommy, good to see you. Glad you told me the correct time tonight.
Well, I'll pretend like it was an accident.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Absolutely. Erica, it is nice to see you again, though. How are you?
Will you quit hitting on my ringside partner, Stully?
In your dreams, Mr. James over there.
All right, I gotta pay attention to this man. Keith Smith stretched out the Crocodile Kid and then dropped him over his knee. Now he's attacking his face with a grip like a bowling ball on his nose. And Stully, wow, F-bombs being dropped by Dingo, and this is most definitely the new school versus the old school.
Well, the man from Britain is upset at whatever the fans are saying out there tonight.
Wow, Smith standing on the gut of the Crocodile Kid. And Coach Chuck Farley up to talk to Heinz Loman, and Keith starts standing on his nuts. Dingo being cut off by Lohman, and wow. Australian for nut shot.
What was that, Eric?
Gotta love the mullet power.
Drop by Wesson. So you're into mullets?
Definitely. I love mullets galore.
I used to have a mullet when I was in high school.
Come on, Tommy.
Well, if I would have known you were into mullets, I'd still have one.
Oh, goodness. Back to the ring.
It's kind of a mullet, isn't it?
Yeah, if you got the business in the front, now you need the party in the back.
Chaz Wesson from a hammerlock to now tying up a submission move, trying to stretch out the Croc. Chaz Wesson, Mr. Intensity in GCW, one half of the Old School Warriors, getting some encouragement from Coach Farley. And Croc almost out there on the canvas, Tommy.
It's really been a double team, Scully. They've distracted that half-wit Heinz Lohman and alternately stood on the nuts of the Croc kid and chopped him into the corner of the ring.
Well, the Old School Warriors known for their chops, and Erica, I know that's one hand you wouldn't want to cross your chest.
Why are they chanting, "Fuck you, Coach"? Did they stand up in Palmer's Pavilion and say, "Fuck you, Coach" to John Wooden?
Tommy, I've met John Wooden, and Coach Chuck Farley is no John Wooden.
Crocodile kid putting right hands to Wesson and gets the much-needed tag to Dingo.
John Wooden, the numerous consecutive titles for UCLA in double figures. I'll give you credit. Coach Farley is one hell of a manager. And the Old School Warriors, one of the top tag teams in GCW. But what sort of gold, what sort of title and championships does Coach Farley have on his resume?
Well, it's just a matter of time.
How many, Tommy?
It's just a matter of time. Coach drops Dingo on the... Coach yelling at the crowd as Keith drops Dingo on the top rope. And now Wesson up top. Wow, look at this off the top rope. Wesson with the cover.
Looked like Dingo, a poke to the eye of Chaz Wesson there.
It's one way to break a pin.
Question about it. Diamondback Dingo, you talked about it earlier. The fans on his case, that may have fired him up, and he's fighting some inspired fighting right now. Those right hands to the forehead of Chaz Wesson.
When you think about it, what do Australians do?
They drink and they fight.
They sit around and drink a lot of beer, and then they beat the shit out of each other. And so Dingo, with right hands on Wesson, has taken off his belt.
On that spike, damn it!
How about that? Dingo whipping Wesson with that belt, and Dingo is going to pay for it now. Oh, what a chop by Dingo. Right hand by Wesson. And this one has really, the intensity has really turned up in this one. Big knee by Wesson.
Well, we've seen some hardcore battles here at the adult fucking only shows before. Diamondback Dingo tasting his own blood on more than one occasion. You talk about intensity, the foreman in this one and all. Another intense chop from Chaz Wesson.
They're taking turns thumbing each other in the eye. Wow.
Well, shades of Balls Mahoney, a friend who's been in the ring here in GCW not too long ago.
The crowd chanting mullet power. Wesson holding Dingo overhead.
What a gorilla press to the show of strength. Oh!
God, he threw him out to the floor.
That's solid concrete, Tommy.
Somebody check Dingo for a pulse.
Looking for a pulse. He might need a new face after landing from that one.
Rock Kid down checking on Dingo. That asshole Heinz Lohman applying the count. The Old School Warriors are in control.
I'll tell you what, Chaz Wesson giving Diamondback Dingo a little bit of a breather here. Normally, we see the follow-up right away from the intense team of the Old School Warriors, but I don't know if it's a good idea. We see Dingo taking a couple extra minutes now to regroup. That could turn the tide.
Dingo needed some time after Wesson just threw him out outside the ring, and now Dingo in the hard way.
Wesson picking back up where he left off, and Tommy, is that a Crocodile, or are you just happy to sit next to Erica?
Both. Wesson with the big drop kick nearly got the pin.
And now cream filling all over the place now.
I plead the fifth. double teamwork there by the Old School Warriors as they're taunting the Crocodile Kid, who once again cut off by Heinz Lohman.
Well, you're not going to find a better technically or experienced team than the Old School Warriors, cutting off the ring, making it the small ring, as you said. Dingo forgetting about going for a tag, getting a fresh man in now, trying to stretch out Keith Smith and putting some torque on that neck.
How about that? Dingo going old school on the Old School Warriors.
And Coach Farley!
Wow.
Coach Farley getting involved on Croc Kid.
He was making him eat a crocodile, and Coach called him a son of a whore, which I'm sure that he is. Wow.
And we get a dictionary for some of those words. Oh.
Nobody calls Coach a motherfucker.
A morose motherfucker at that.
He's not fat, he's just big boned.
And Chaz now! Oh, Dingo reversing the backflip.
He was going for the pedigree on the concrete floor. Dingo the reversal, but Smith right on him with a double axe handle off the apron.
Carnage in and out of the ring. Smith going for the cover and Dingo out at 2.
They were trying to make him eat a crocodile.
Oh, the humanity, huh?
Smith, look at that submission move. Keith Smith has forgotten more about wrestling than most of these jerk-offs in the crowd will ever know.
Well, Dingo's shoulder blades compressed together there, just ripping them out at the joints. And now Croc being brought in hard way by Keith Smith. Wesson in the ring, and Heinz Lohman has lost control yet again.
Well, with these 4 men, it's tough to keep control. The crowd chanting for the mullet of Chaz Wesson.
Oh! The Aussie's down, and now Coach Farley throwing chains into the ring. We've seen some vicious chops before. The right hands with steel now.
That's in chains, and this isn't going to be good for the 2 Australians. Double right hands with the chains. And now Wesson locking up Dingo in the figure 4. Keith Smith locking up the Crocodile Kid in the figure 4. And Coach Farley on the apron, screaming encouragement.
Both of the Aussies in agony, and Dingo, the Croc, they submit. That's it. Too much.
And your winners, the Old School Warriors.
They won't let go. They're hell-bent on breaking the legs of these 2 Australians. Old school tag team teamwork, worked to perfection by the Old School Warriors.
Well, we talked about the power, the technique, the experience. Coach Farley, love him or hate him, he makes sure his team gets the job done. And the 2 Australians left laying at the hands of a steel chain and figure 4.